Okay, Andreas, thank you so much for being here with us and for the panel that you presented. Can we start with your name and organization, please?
My name is Andreas Petzold. I'm an atmospheric physicist and work at the Research Center Jülich, which is in Western Germany, so close to the Dutch and Belgian border. And my main task there is to coordinate together with colleagues from Germany, France, and the United Kingdom, the European Research Infrastructure IAGOS, where we perform climate observations and measurements on civil passenger aircraft.
Okay, well, it's an honor to have you here with us. You were here 2 years ago at the Non-CO2 Symposium. Now you came again today, this year at Climate Week, and you sat at the only panel we had about non-CO2 emissions. Can you tell us a little bit about what has happened since the symposium until now in terms of non-CO2? What is the latest and greatest? What have we learned?
The last event here in September 2024, the Aviation Non-CO2 Emissions Symposium by ICAO, it sparked a development, honestly, because at that time, the non-CO2 discussion was just gaining speed. And one remarkable result from that meeting was, which developed later on, was that we need to have a closer look on contrails and contrail cirrus, which form in already existing clouds. That was a non-topic at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And colleagues from mine from the cloud physics side, and we said we need to know how many contrails forming in clouds already and what is their radiative impact. And then we started a study, which was now published half a year ago, roughly. And it made, some noise.
Yeah.
Some people say, but it ignited a lot of ongoing research so that now also modeling colleagues start to investigate the effects contrail cirrus may have when they exist inside natural cirrus, how the interactions are. And this is a completely new field, and it's very important because it may reshape the discussion on the climate impact of contrail cirrus, and in turn, or as a consequence also, that it may reshape the discussion on contrail avoidance and rerouting, because if we now learn that we do not have to care about regions where natural cirrus are already there, we can really readjust the whole system, make it much simpler. And this is a really, really important ongoing development.
And how easy or how difficult is it today to be able to predict not only where contrails are, but to predict that a contrail has been formed inside a cirrus cloud? Is this something that you think we have the capability to do today, or is this something that now the paper that you and your colleague published is now shining the light on an area that we have to pay more attention to?
I would say in the framework of European programs in particular, we're already doing the next steps by improving weather forecast. We do it in a way that we take the humidity observations we perform on our IAGOS equipped aircraft, because they tell us really kind of the ground truth. And then we feed that into numerical weather prediction models, and they compare how they predict clouds and ice supersaturated regions and how we see them. And there's a mismatch, of course.
Yeah.
And now the colleagues from the various weather services started to readjust their cloud schemes to get better to reality or closer to reality. And this is really an important ongoing work, which not only helps aviation, but it would also help to improve weather forecast as a whole.
And you mentioned a lot of these developments are relying on measurements taken on board civilian aircraft that carry passengers and transport people, but they have sensors. So maybe a comment on the importance of this program that you're involved with, ICAO, the importance of trying to get more airlines on board, trying to get more sensors so that we can get more data?
That's an open question today, and it really is one task we are actually working in on a project, a European project, which is led by Airbus. We investigate, or colleagues from Meteor Force, in that case, investigate exactly this question: how many sensors we need in the air to improve the weather forecast systems? And when does it become useless, when we have more and more?
Yeah,
Because then we add something which we do not really need. So you want to get an idea of the optimum number, so that we can, and then ICAO, for instance, would come into play to help then equipping the number of aircraft we have identified.
Okay, and what other role do you think ICAO can play in facilitating all of this?
A strongly coordinating role, because I mean, you are the international organization responsible for civil aviation. So you are the kind of the natural coordinator. We also need to get the World Meteorological Organization on board. They run an aircraft-based observations program where IAGOS, our research program, is part of.
Yeah.
And joining forces of the WMO and of ICAO, together with some leading weather services, that would be a coalition to push forward a whole topic. And here I see ICAO clearly in a coordinating role and as a door opener in various instances.
Well, thank you for the very action-driven remark. I really like it. And just a final question, just to close up. Any commentary on this ICAO Climate Week? What do you take of it? What do you think of this event?
Normally, I don't go to these kind of policy events.
Yeah.
That's so for me, it's really interesting. First, we could in the opening panel, we could present the scientific knowledge to the audience, and after that, I learned a lot on the ongoing political discussion, especially on how the various regions of the world position themselves on the sustainable aviation fuel production. And now with a taxation system coming in here, it's all out of my normal field, but I learn a lot because it impacts also what we are doing. I mean, we are taking care of the scientific understanding, but that's not in a vacuum. What happens here, what is discussed here, that kind of shapes the environment. So if we really want to make an impact with our scientific understanding and our research, we should also be aware of the political landscape around to make the best out of it. So I'm really happy that I got invited here. Thank you to ICAO, and I really, really enjoy being here and also to see the discussions going on, even also today in the afternoon.
Well, thank you for coming and sharing your knowledge with us. And with that, we'll close the interview. Yeah. Thank you very much.